ॐ ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for joining. We are starting chapter 14, which is entitled as Devotional Qualifications. We'll read together. Some scholars recommend that the knowledge and renunciation are important factors for elevating one to the devotional service. But actually, that is not the fact. We read in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spoke that he suggested Arjuna that one has to have a knowledge and renunciation. But that is not the cause of bhakti, which is very important. And Rupa Goswami, Srila Rupa Goswami is talking about actually the cultivation of knowledge or renunciation, which are favorable for achieving a footing in Krishna consciousness, may be accepted in the beginning, but ultimately they may also come to be rejected, for devotional service is dependent on nothing other than sentiment or desire for such service. It requires nothing more than sincerity. There was one of the Brahmana when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, last week we were discussing about Gauranga Mahaprabhu's Leela. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually was traveling to South India and he came to one temple and there was a Brahmana. Now this Brahmana was reading Bhagavad Gita, but he was not able to actually pronounce the verses properly. So the other Brahmanas who were very eloquent in reciting slokas were making fun of him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to him and then asked him, "My dear Prabhu, what are you trying to do?" He said, "My spiritual master, my guru, asked me to read whole Bhagavad Gita every day. And I read that. And unfortunately, I'm an illiterate, so I just know basics. And I try to read Bhagavad Gita, may not be very eloquently." Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "That's all right. But I see there are tears flowing from your eyes. What is the reason for those? Why the tears are flowing from your eyes?" So this Brahmana said, my dear Prabhu, actually when I see this beautiful form of Krishna being a chariot driver for Arjuna, that emotion, that just realizing that the supreme personality of Godhead who actually creates the entire cosmic world, maintains everyone, even Mother Lakshmi is actually brooms in Vaikuntha and then massages the feet of Vishnu. What is the position of Lord Krishna here, that he became a chariot driver? in today's world we can say that Uber driver or Lyft driver, how how compassionate, how merciful is, how approachable the Lord is. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy. He said, "You understood the real meaning of Bhagavad Gita." Because ultimately, the whole understanding of Bhagavad Gita is to come to that platform where we have unflinching and undeviated and uninterrupted love for Krishna. And this Brahmana had it. It was a very important qualification. Sometimes we see, oh, sometimes we think that, oh, when I acquire knowledge, when I understand Bhagavad Gita, then only I will develop love for Krishna. No, not necessary. Bhakti is not dependent on anything. What a person really need is a sincerity. And very interestingly, you don't have to pay a big sum of money to actually achieve sincerity. That's like free of cost. Comes from within. Someone has to practice the same process sincerely. Srila Prabhupada said, you don't have to do anything differently. You have to do the same thing, but put your heart into it. Which is whether we are chanting, whether we are reading, whether we are hearing, we do it with utmost attention. And that is what is actually sincerity. We may not be able to understand everything, which is okay. The point is that the message of Krishna is so powerful, even if we think we are not able to understand, but Lord goes in. One time we have a brahmachari, Gauranga Prabhu, very powerful, eloquent speaker. He was sharing, he was sharing. A lot of times when I'm hearing, I don't know how much goes in and how much do I remember. People have that question, I mean, I don't remember anything which we discussed. So in this connection, he was quoting one real example. So there was one devotee who was listening, never gave a class or anything. So he happened to come to America or some Western countries, maybe Canada or some other place. And very interestingly, there was nobody there, and it was a festival. So they asked him to give a class. And this Prabhu was like, I never gave a class. And he sat on the Vyasasan to give the class. That he went on. Rather than an hour class, he actually gave a class for more than 2 hours. And then the temple management had to ask him, Bhai, ban karo, abhi there is going to be prasad and other things as well. So the idea point is that Lord goes in, but we just don't realize in the right thing comes at the right time. Srila Rupa Goswami says, it is the opinion of expert devotees that mental speculation and artificial austerities of yoga practice may be favorable for becoming liberated from material contamination, but they will also make one's heart harder and harder. They will not help at all in the progress of devotional service. These processes are therefore not favorable for entering into the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Actually, Krishna consciousness, devotional service itself, is the only way of advancing in devotional life. Devotional service is absolute, it is both the cause and the effect. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the cause and effect of all that be. And to approach Him, the absolute, the process of devotional service, which is also absolute has to be adopted. So, what is the meaning of cause and effect? For us to attain bhakti, there has not necessary there has to be a cause that because of this thing I came to bhakti, or develop bhakti even things that affect what is the outcome of bhakti. You don't need anything for that, you just need bhakti, and that itself is sufficient. It is not dependent on anything else. Here Rupa Goswami is writing, Srila Rupa Goswami is that artificial austerity or yoga practice may be favorable, but they make one's heart harder and harder. So this in this connection, there is a beautiful pastime which is there in Srimad Bhagavatam about Brahmanas. So one time, Krishna was playing with his gopas. I may have said it before, but in this connection, it absolutely applies. So Krishna goes along with his gopas to go and play in the forest. And very interestingly, the gopas are hungry and they are asking Krishna, "We are hungry. Can you arrange something for us? We are hungry right now. We want to eat something." Krishna says, "Okay, do me a favor. Do one thing. Just nearby, there are Brahmanas who are actually performing a tapasya. They are performing the yajna, and they are offering a lot of bhoga there. Go and ask them that Krishna and Balram are here, hungry, and we are hungry too. So Gopas very excitingly they went there. They reached to the arena where the Brahmanas were performing the sacrifice or yajna, and they requested, saying that, my dear Brahmanas, we are here. We are the friends of Krishna and Balram. They are actually here nearby playing, and then we are here to take the offering, and we want to honor like whatever you have. The Brahmanas became really angry. They said, "Oh, who are you? We are doing this offering. We are offering this boga to Lord Vishnu. Don't create an interruption. Just leave from here." And Gopas very disappointedly came to Krishna. And they said, this is what Brahmana said. And Krishna was smiling. He said, okay, one thing. The Brahmana's wives, they are at home. Go and ask them and appeal them the same thing, which is saying that, Krishna and Balaram are there nearby. They are hungry and we are hungry too. We need prasad. So the Gopas reluctantly went there. And when the Brahman Patni saw Gopas, when they heard that Krishna and Balramji are here, they immediately, whatever they had at home, they brought, decorated, and came to the place where Krishna and Balramji were sitting, and they offered all the prasad to Krishna and Balramji, and then all the Gopas, they really nicely ate. Krishna was very happy. And Krishna asked them, you go back now. And these Brahman Patni says, my dear Lord, we have given our heart to you. What's the point for us to going back? Because our purpose of life has been fulfilled by taking your darshan. And our husbands have no spirituality. Our husbands have no actually real love for you. And Krishna says, you go, and by your association they will also become devotees. So this is why we spoke about that story. Sometimes when we perform austerity, when we perform knowledge, it actually makes us hard hearted. It brings us pride, it brings us that I am higher, and then creates a lot of issues with that. One feel that now I am able to order someone. And similar thing, another pastime which happens in Govardhan Leela. Indra, who is actually the king of Swargaloka, he thinks, oh, I am great, and everyone should offer sacrifice to me. So when Rajavasis were offering, they were initially offering all this yajna to Lord Indra. But then Lord Krishna says, why are you doing that? We should offer it to Lord, we should offer it to Govardhan, because Govardhan is providing everything. Why should we worship Indra? Indra is just doing his job. What is it? What's such a big deal? But it is the Govardhan who is giving us the grass to the cows, and when the cows eat, they give us nice milk, and with that, our whole praja is working. So they stopped, and Indra became happy, and then we know the pastime. Sorry, Indra became angry, and then he started deciding, saying that I will destroy whole Vrindavan along with this small boy, because he didn't realize he's Krishna himself. So that is the problem with the position, that is the problem with the opulence, that is a problem with the facilities of this material world. Whether it is Aishwarya, whether it is beauty, whether it is money, whether it is renunciation, whether it is strength, any of these activities, when one receives beauty, when receives, one feels that, oh, you know what, now I am the greatest. And that's the problem. That's why it is easier for those people to practice bhakti who have nothing, in terms of they don't have riches, they don't have strength. They're very simple, not necessary they may have money, but it's just to maintain the house and family. But the whole idea is they are focusing on devotional life. Another pastime which is there in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. So there was one devotee, his name was Sridhar. His name was Kalaveta Sridhar, because he used to actually sell banana leaves in Navadvip, and with that he will run his livelihood. His roof had more holes than actually the roof. His dhoti had more holes than actually the dhoti. He would somehow cover. And Nimai Pandit, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was small, he would come and argue with him and negotiate with him, and will take all banana leaves and all that stuff for free. But his love for Krishna was so intense. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually took the form of Lord Vishnu and requested everyone to do Abhishek of him, this is only the first time in front of the devotees. He sat on the Vyasasana of Lord Vishnu and he asked everyone, "You do my Abhishek." Because until then, and except this pastime, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would always call himself a devotee, never reveal that he is Krishna himself. He is the source of Lord Vishnu. And then he called everyone and asked, "You ask whatever benediction you want." And he asked devotees, go and call Kala with Sridhar." And devotees did not know that because this guy was so poor, just living a very extremely simple life, just chanting the name of Krishna and worship Mother Ganga. So the devotees were not aware. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "You go to this direction, and you will see one very poor brahmana. He would be actually just chanting Krishna's name, and you call him, and they came. Sridhar, Sridhar, Mahaprabhu is calling you." And then they reached and brought him. But that is what the purpose of life is, not to actually attain more and more and more. Any comments or questions so far, Mataji?
No, Prabhu, I do understand.
Thank you. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita by the Lord Himself. One can understand Krishna only through devotional service. In beginning, his teaching of Gita of the Lord said to Arjuna, "Because you are my devotee, I shall teach these secrets to you." Because otherwise, understanding Krishna is possible for anyone and everyone. Someone has to have the bhakti account to actually understand Krishna. Vedic knowledge means ultimately to understand the Supreme Lord, and process of entering into the kingdom is devotional service that is accepted by all authentic scriptures. Mental speculation, thinking that maybe this is God, this is God, this is how I can please God, that is mental speculation. Neglect the process of devotional service. So they don't render any service to Krishna. And by simply trying to defeat others in philosophical research to develop the ecstasy of devotion. In 11th canto, 20th chapter, verse 31 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna says, "My dear Uddhav, for persons who are seriously engaged in my service, the cultivation of philosophical speculation and artificial renunciation are not very favorable. They don't give importance to them. When a person becomes my devotee, he automatically attains the fruits of renunciation of material enjoyment and he gets sufficient knowledge to understand the absolute truth." Vrajavasis, they were in so much love for Krishna, they were just blinded by the love of Krishna. Not they didn't have knowledge, they had knowledge, but sufficient to just love Krishna. Because love will precede over knowledge and any of the other activities. The test of advancement in devotional service. A devotee cannot be in darkness because the Lord shows him favor and enlightens him from within. There is what is his name? I just keep forgetting. He was blind by birth. I forgot his name.
Is it Surdas?
Ah, Surdas. Yes, thank you, Madhavi. So Surdas, he was from his childhood he was blind, but miraculously he has an ability. Whenever his father would not be able to find out anything at home, Surdas will be able to find out within a second, though he is blind. So he had that inner this thing ability to actually take care of that. So he was a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. He would sing the glories of Lord Krishna. So one time he was just calling Krishna, he was singing the names of Krishna. Srimati Radharani appeared there personally, and then she came in disguise. Krishna came in disguise. Of course, he can't see, so they came. And then they said, whatever you need, we will give you that. So he said, "I want to touch your feet." He knew actually, though he couldn't see, but he holded the feet of Srimati Radharani, not willing to leave. Srimati Radharani, he said, "What do you want? We will offer you anything you want." And then Surdas ji said, "You give me the eyes so that I can see your beautiful form." So they gave him the eyes and they said, "What else do you need?" They said, "Take away these eyes. Because after seeing you, I do not want to see the mundane reality of this world. mundane feature of this of material world. I just want to remember you, and I've seen you. I just want to remember your beautiful form. So he moved to Govardhan, and near Govardhan, actually, there is a beautiful temple of Gopal. And when this devotees will decorate the Lord, he would actually know what Shringar Lord has, what Shringar Pujari has done, and what dress Lord is wearing. So devotees were puzzled. Pujaris were puzzled. He's blind. How does he remember? How does he know? So one time, what they did is they did not dress the Lord at all, and they came to him. He said, "My dear Surdas, now today you describe what is the beauty of the Lord." So the Surdas says, "My dear Lord, I was thinking you look very beautiful in blue dress. But then I would feel, no, you look better in yellow dress. But I realized all of that was wrong. You look very beautiful when you're not wearing any clothes." Then the Pujari realized, wow, that love he has is beyond the platform on the mundane platform. This is important actually. That Lord gives such devotees a special favor and enlightens them from within. In 11th canto, 20th chapter, verse 32 and 33, Srimad Bhagavatam, the Lord further instructs Uddhava. My dear friend, the profits derive from fruitive activity, which is what we are discussing in the other class of Karma Yoga. We just finished actually third chapter, which we talked about fruitive activities, which means what is in it for me. Austerities and culture of philosophical knowledge, renunciation, practice of mystic yoga, charity, and all similar auspicious activities are automatically achieved by my devotees, those who are simply attached to me by loving service. These devotees have everything at their disposal, but they desire nothing outside of my devotional service. So, Rupa Goswami's elder brother Sanatan Goswami. Sanatan Goswami, so there was one devotee of Lord Shiva, this Brahmana. This Brahmana was very poor, didn't have money, and he had his daughter to get married. So he didn't have money, so he went to Lord Shiva and said, "My dear Lord, I want to get my daughter married. I don't have anything. How can I arrange the marriage for her?" So Lord Shiva said, "Nearby, there is Sanatan Goswami. There is a sage. His name is Sanatan Goswami. He was the associate of Lord Chaitanya, like Rupa Goswami. They both were brother. Would you go and ask him that Lord Shiva has sent it to me because he had the Chintamani jewel." So he came and then asked Sanatan Goswami of his pranam and asked Sanatan Goswami saying that, Lord Shiva sent me. And he said, "You have a Chintamani jewel. All desires can be fulfilled with just touchstone." So Rupa Goswami said, "Yeah, I have that. You see that trash can behind that? It's inside that one. You can find that out." So this person was puzzled. The touchstone that's in the trash. So he went there and found a touchstone, and he touched couple of objects. They became gold. Wow, great. So he offered pranam and he said, "Thank you so much." And he started walking. And while he started walking, he realized this sadhu has kept touchstone in the trash, which means he has something much more valuable than that one. Let me go back. So he came back to Sanatan Goswami and mentioned that, "Sanatan Goswami, you gave me this, which means you have something much more important, much more valuable." "Yeah, you want that?" He said, "Yeah." So Sanatan Goswami said, "But there is one condition. That first and foremost thing, you will have to throw this touchstone in the river. You come back to me, and then I will tell you the secret. I will tell you the most thing." So this person had a faith, not like all of us sometimes. "Oh no, I how can I just let it go? Let me just better. I don't know what he will have." So he actually went and threw the touchstone in the water in the river, and he came back. Sanatan Goswami says all the possessions of this world are temporary and useless. The real prize, a real priceless thing which we have in this material world or in spiritual world, it is Krishna Bhakti. And I will teach you a mantra which is Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, through which you can attain the highest realms of remembering Krishna, where Even the roads are made with touchstones. You don't have to work hard for those things. And he became a wonderful disciple, wonderful follower of Sanatan Goswami. So these devotees have everything at their disposal, but they desire nothing outside of my devotional service, Krishna says. If ever a devotee should desire some material profit like promotions to heavenly planet, or some spiritual profit to go to Vaikuntha by my causeless mercy, his desire is very easily fulfilled. Any questions so far, Mataji?
Not question, Prabhu. Just one comment. I was thinking
Mm.
about this today's culture. If
Yeah.
anybody found dust on today, do you think the bhakti will be there?
That's the reality, Mataji, that we think money is honey. Unfortunately, money doesn't help when actually we are in a more difficult time. But how many people realize it's very difficult at this moment? That's why Bhagavad Gita gives that philosophy idea that material world is a perverted reflection of spiritual world. And spiritual people, devotees, want to actually focus on that spiritual realm rather than thinking on material plane. Because like Krishna said to Uddhava, all this is all anyhow given to them. You don't have to work so hard. But yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Anywhere, if you go to any other temples and uh, that dust, and I bet like whoever is the real bhakta, even hardly any.
That is so true. Hardly any who are
And
not.
if you have because not everybody is brahmachari or sannyas, right?
Mm,
Until
mm.
you have fully taken over sannyas life, no bhaktas will take throw away the touchstone at this
Well,
moment.
at this moment is correct, Madhaji. However, bhakti is not dependent on the ashram or varna.
It's,
Like,
yeah,
when
I'm just saying in general. Oh, I was
Mm,
thinking, talking about in general. Like if you don't have like because people, even though if you have great bhakti inside of you, you have something to do, like always feeding your family,
yeah,
doing this for family, and so on,
yeah.
right? And the same time you're still doing the bhakti inside. But when something like something happened, they probably can think, okay, if I have this, then I don't have to work in that way. At least I can have full time to bhakti, which is doesn't really happen, right? So it's like that, like because of the Kali Yoga, I think is like
You
this.
you you actually nailed it down, and I was just thinking personally fit in there. I came to America in 2015 with that plan only that I want to retire. I want to do a full time bhakti. I will earn XYZ amount, whatever was the number put in at that time, thinking that yeah, that if that is done, then I just go back to India. I have no business here and to live in America. But so much has changed in life in terms of coming here, taking care of my wife, her health issues, and so many other aspects. But now it's life is in a different only. It's I'm on a different lane only. I have no idea where the life is heading towards. But that's the reality of this material world. Nothing goes as per our plan. We may plan, but our destiny or Krishna has a different plan which is set, and we just can't actually control our destiny that way.
Yeah, the same thing for us too. Like even
Mm,
especially for now, for me, I want to go settle down in India. But at least it's a little small piece of land. I can do vegetation and
beautiful.
full time bhakti, and that's my plan. But I can only plan. I don't know the future because whoever it's planned it for me, they know better. I don't know, so I can only hope and think and towards it. So let's see what can happen.
Seriously, Mataji, that's just Krishna's plan.
This time today, actually this afternoon, I was
Mm,
at work, and then I saw a little fly inside in the window, because that like the house is very old.
Mm.
Those are called heritage house.
Yeah, yeah.
So the window is shut. Like I cannot even open the window. So and then the fly is there for God knows how long. And then I'm trying to. I can't catch a fly because they will die on my hand. So
Mm.
I was just
Mm.
trying to do in such a way. Like so, I put it in a little thing. I God knows how many more hours or days she or them have, right? So I put it outside. The blink of a second, it's gone. It's like because before it was like stuck and feel like can't even fly much.
Mm.
God, like that's like I can't even see. As soon as I put it out, like vanish.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I was sharing the class which I shared this morning of Srila Prabhupada. What happens after death? Very powerful class. Prabhupada was talking. Some of us live maximum 100 years. Brahmaji lives for trillions of years. Maybe ant lives for few hours or few seconds. But that's the reality of that world. We think in our short span of time we can do so much, but we actually can't do anything. Everything is just goes by the plan based on our karma, based on our destiny, which was decided by material laws. But yeah.
Yeah, there is also the book like in our Bengali. It's like after death.
Mm.
It's like I think Yogi. I forgot the author's name, but I haven't read it. So I was thinking when my mom come, I'll tell her to bring that book over with me. So I just wanted to know, see. I know like there's few stuff that I know, but not everything.
Yeah, you can hear the Prabhupada class also. It's very nice, very beautiful. Actually, I was just listening this morning, and I'm like, okay, this is a good class to hear. Anyway, but thank you so much for the points, Mataji.
Alright.
Let's continue for some more time. Actually, a person who is developing Krishna consciousness and still has some attachment to material enjoyment will soon be freed from such a tendency by regularly discharging devotional service under the instruction of bona fide spiritual master. Very beautiful, actually, because not everyone is a pure devotee. Everyone has mixed devotion, which is we our one feet is in material world and one feet is in spiritual material practices, and one feet is in spiritual practices. We struggle to actually have complete faith and let Krishna take over whatever he feels. And here it's a beautiful hope which is saying one when follows this process very seriously and follows the instruction of spiritual master, one actually comes to the platform where Krishna removes all the obstacles one person may have. One of the just real story, actually. One of the Mataji in Pune, she was actually diagnosed with the cancer, and then she was on her deathbed struggling for few final days or whatever it is. So her spiritual master came to visit her, and then spiritual master said, oh, Radha Krishna are waiting for you in spiritual world. And she said, the attachment doesn't go away. My attachment to family and taking care of things. Within few days, she peacefully left, asked one person who was there actually supporting her or assisting her. She said, get me the tulsi. It's the time has come for me to leave. She took tulsi, put in her mouth, and left this world. Because spiritual master actually relieved her from all those attachments. Under the power of spiritual master, he is the middleman between us and Krishna. It's like when you buy a house or when you have a realtor who is representing you, and he may know your position and everything else, but he just makes sure the buyer is coming in your favor. Similar way, we have a lot of shortcomings, and if we have to attain Krishna's mercy, Krishna is very typical, very particular in terms of all this have to be there. Then it's very difficult to attain Krishna. But Guru vouches for us, saying that I know him. Krishna says, no, this guy is a rascal, this person is a rascal. They never come to Krishna, they always complain. This is the thing, that's the thing. They do not chant, there are always a number of excuses. The Guru says, he's trying. Please be merciful and give him Krishna Bhakti. And Krishna says, okay, because you are I will give him or her. That's the whole idea of taking a shelter of Guru. Srila Rupa Goswami. Now, specifically, when you are chanting 16 rounds, and if you are following four regulative principle, which is no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and then no gambling, then you aspire for a guru, and then you take a shelter, and then Guru gives you initiation. You should aspire for that because you are already chanting 16 rounds very sincerely, attending these classes. We should talk on that one as well, Mataji, sometime.
Sure, Prabhu.
Srila Rupa Goswami then recommends that one should not be attached to material enjoyment, but should accept everything enjoyable that is in relationship for Krishna, to Krishna. For example, eating is necessary, and one wants some palatable dishes to satisfy senses for taste. So in that case, for the satisfaction of Krishna rather than for satisfaction of tongue, some palatable dishes may be prepared and offered to Krishna. So it becomes prasad, and when you eat prasad, perfect. Then it is renunciation. Let the palatable dishes be prepared, but unless they are offered to Krishna, one should not accept them for eating. This vow of rejecting anything that is not offered to Krishna is actually renunciation. And by such renunciation, one is able to satisfy the demands of senses. So, not that we have to leave anything and go to the forest. We like whatever we like, we offer it to Krishna and have it. That's good. The impersonalists who try to avoid everything material may undergo severe austerities, but they miss the opportunity of being engaged in the service of the Lord. छोड़ना नहीं है, जोड़ना है. Renunciate. What they do is they want to leave everything. No, we don't have to leave anything. We have to use everything in Krishna's service. We can stay in our house, no problem. We can eat whatever we like. We offer it to Krishna and offer every activity to Krishna. And that is bhakti. Thus, their renunciation is not sufficient for perfection. One time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go and actually perform Sankirtan at Srivas Thakur's house. Very few devotees were allowed to be there because Srivas Thakur is actually Rasasthali. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and associates are actually none other than Srimati Radharani, Krishna, and gopis. So they were doing Rasa Leela there because Sankirtan is none other than Rasa Leela. So nobody was allowed. There was one Brahmana who would actually drink only few drops of chas, buttermilk. He requested Srivas Thakur, I want to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Kirtan, Sankirtan. Please allow me in your house. Srivas Thakur says, please, it's not allowed. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't allow anyone. He says, please, I'm just, my renunciation. I just drink few drops of buttermilk. And Srivas Thakur allowed. He said, okay, but you hide inside. So he was hiding behind somewhere. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and they started doing Sankirtan. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stopped. I'm not feeling ecstasy. Is there someone in this house who should not be here? And devotees are very scared because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very angry. He is none other than Lord Vishnu. So then Srivas Thakur saw and he said, my dear Lord, nobody, there is no one who is an atheist here. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became angry. Is there someone who is here who should not be here? And then Brahmana realized he came out. No, Srivas Thakur said, my dear Lord, there is Brahmana who actually just drink few drops of buttermilk every day. Very renounced. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became even more angry. Does he think that by renunciation he can see my performance? He can enter in Ras Leela? To enter in Ras Leela, to enter into my congregational chanting, the only qualification is bhakti, not renunciation. Kick him out. Take him out. This Brahmana was very morose and was getting out. But at the same time, in his heart of heart, he thought, at least I could see few moments of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. My life is perfect. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is actually none other than Krishna, he is there as a Paramatma in everybody's heart, even in Brahmana's heart. And Lord Chaitanya got to know his humility, his devotion, and he called him again. that you are allowed to be here. Why? Not just because of your not because of your renunciation, but because of your simple heart and gratitude. And he became a great devotee. So continuing, there are many supposed renouncer even at present moment who officially become sannyasis or renouncers and outwardly claim that spiritual existence is truth and material existence is untruth. They say Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. These are Mayavadis. They say Brahman Jyoti is everything and this whole world is a Mithya, which means it doesn't exist, which is not true. We see world exists, we exist, everyone exists. The Jagat is not Mithya. The Jagat is temporary. So world exists, people exist, but they all are temporary. And Brahman Jyoti is none other than the light coming from Krishna's body. So he is the source of that light, Brahman. So in this way, artificially they make a show of renunciation of the material world. However, because they cannot reach the point of devotional service, they fail to achieve the goal and they again come back to material activities. I would again in the same class which I shared with you of Prabhupada. Prabhupada said there was this there are these powerful people, powerful sages actually. They actually attain siddhis, and there was one certain siddha purusha, or whatever siddha. So he attained siddhi. His siddhi was so powerful that he can travel anywhere. So he was like a Naga Baba. He would not wear the clothes. He was actually in Calcutta only. So the police people complained and government take into action saying that, oh, you cannot just wear clothes. This is a public place. We don't want this thing. But this guy would not follow, so they put him into a jail. But because he was a siddha, he could get out of the without doing anything. He could just get out from the jail, though it is completely closed. So the question here is that after so much renunciation, you attain that siddhi. What are you using it for? Just to showcase that I can go to jail and I can get out without even opening the lock. Everybody is there. That's not purpose of life. This is what is mentioned here. That fail to achieve the goal and they again come back to material activities such as philanthropic work and political agitation. There are many examples, so-called sannyasi who gave up the world as untruth but again came to material world because they were not seeking their real repose at the lotus feet of the Lord. One should not give up anything that can be utilized in the service of the Lord. That is a secret of devotional service. Anything that can be utilized in advancing Krishna consciousness and devotional service should be accepted. So it's very important. Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya means not renouncing anything, it's utilizing everything in Krishna's service. For instance, we are using many machines for advancement of our present Krishna conscious movement. Machines like typewriters, dictating machines, tape recorder, microphones, and aeroplanes. Sometimes people ask her, why are you utilizing material products if you condemn the advancement of material civilization? But actually, we do not condemn. We simply ask people to do whatever they are doing in Krishna consciousness. This is a simple principle on which Bhagavad Gita Krishna advised Arjuna to utilize his fighting abilities in devotional service. That is Yukta Vairagya. We do not promote Vairagya. We promote Yukta Vairagya, which means utilizing everything in Krishna's service. Similarly, we are utilizing these machines for Krishna's service with much sentiment for Krishna or Krishna conscious, we can accept everything. If the typewriter can be utilized for advancing our Krishna consciousness movement, we must accept it. Similarly, the dictating machine or any other machine must be used. Our vision is that Krishna is everything. Krishna is the cause and effect. Nothing belongs to us. Krishna's things must be used in service of Krishna. That is our vision. Everything should be used in Krishna's service. This does not mean, however, that we should give up the principle of discharging devotional service or neglect abiding by the rules and regulation. That's another side of pendulum. Oh yeah, I don't have to renounce anything, then I can have big car, I can have big house, and then you end up spending whole day and night earning money and then taking care of that, thinking that yeah, I will use this. Like people Buy great big cars, then oh yeah, big houses, oh I will use it in Krishna service, and then paying mortgage itself they have to work so hard. That is not the point. One has to still think about simple living and high thinking. Like you were mentioning about just have a land. With the way economy is going, with the way things are going, probably that's an ideal option that we grow our own food and we just have it a simple living and high thinking. Then we don't have to rely on so much, because anyhow the food being produced it with so many pesticides and so much storage and all that stuff, it's not fresh anymore, and that is causing all health issues and all that stuff. So anyway, in the neophyte stage of devotion, one must follow all the principles regulated by the authority of spiritual master. The acceptance and rejection of things should always be in pursuance to devotional principles, not that one can independently manufacture some idea of what should be accepted or rejected. That's a very tricky part. Mind is there within our own body. That guy can actually use the spiritual medium to tell us, oh, yeah, yeah, you can do that. And that is very deadly. So one should always verify with spiritual master or some senior devotee. Am I doing it correctly? Should I do like that? The spiritual master, as the visible manifestation of Krishna, is necessary, therefore, to direct the devotee on behalf of Supreme Personality of Godhead. The spiritual master must never be carried away by an spiritual master must never be carried away by an accumulation of wealth or large number of followers. Again, this is on spiritual master side. Not that, Array, can you massage me? Can you do that? Can you do that? Not out of getting comfort out of it or getting facilities because now I have followers which are rich. A bona fide spiritual master will never become like that. But sometimes, if a spiritual master is not properly authorized, only on his own initiative becomes a spiritual master, he may be carried away by accumulation of wealth and large number of disciples. We see today so many, don't want to quote the names. They are attached to the facilities. They have these followers. And if you ask them who is their guru, yeah, I became a guru. I don't have any other guru. I am the one who was the first guru. Very clear. It has to come in a disciplic succession. And that disciplic succession has to go to Krishna. Like Srila Prabhupada's guru is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. His guru is Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj's mentor guru is Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Bhakti Vinod Thakur says Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. Then it goes to Shadda Goswami. From Shadda Goswami, it goes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it goes further even to Ishwarapuri. Ishwarapuri goes to Madhvendrapuri. And that ultimately goes back to Krishna. So disciplic succession is important, not that all of a sudden I woke up and I became a guru and people blindly follow. He's not a very high grade of devotional service. If a person is carried away by such achievement, then his devotional service becomes slackened. One should therefore strictly adhere to the principle of disciplic succession. Last paragraph. A Krishna conscious person being naturally purified has no need of developing any other purificatory process of thought or action. We do not have to do anything other than what we are doing. If you have a time, read Krishna conscious book. You chant Krishna's name, you hear about Krishna. No need to read anything or no need to hear anything else. Or no need to chant anything else. On account of his being highly elevated in Krishna consciousness, he has already acquired all the good qualities and is following the rules and regulations prescribed by mystic yogic process. Such rules are automatically practiced by the devotees. A concrete example is the quality of non-violence, which is considered a good qualification. A devotee is naturally non-violent. Like you give an example that there was this fly. So one is compassion towards everyone, every living entity. How can I just make sure nobody is being some violence is happening on that or somehow it's stuck, which is considered a good qualification. The devotee is naturally non-violent and therefore doesn't have to practice non-violence separately. Some people seek purification by joining a vegetarian movement. I'm a vegan, I'm this. That's not the purpose. But a devotee is automatically a vegetarian. He doesn't need to practice separately in this matter or join any society of vegetarians. He is automatically a vegetarian. So I think we will end here today. Any comments or reflections here, Mataji?
Prabhu, yeah, you just said earlier about that, like that Siddha Purush jo jo bhi tha, like he
Yeah,
was kind of getting out from the jail and all
yeah,
that, right?
yeah,
So, um, at this moment, this I think is also some people are also doing good work. Like
yeah,
they also have some kind of siddhi.
yeah,
I think that's from their gurus or whoever.
yeah,
They probably said that to, like, you have to help. And
yeah,
those are the people that are very hard to find. Like if
yeah,
you're in a problem, let's say if you're in a, like, because of the kala jadoo and dark magic and all that things
mm,
happens with people, and
mm,
which is real, very much real.
mm,
But then these people to find out is so
mm.
hard. But these are the people help you to get out from those bad effect without any cost,
Yeah. This
and they
is
don't like advertise or anything.
yeah. Mataji, being good is always good. I'm not denying about that. Helping others is very nice activity. But at the end of the day, just doing good will not get you. Bhakti is not being good. You cannot attain Krishna by doing good. You can become Indra, you can become Brahma, you can become any of those people in material world. But you cannot attain Krishna by just being good. So I'm not saying that you should not be good. But remember that thing, being good does not mean I will attain Krishna.
Yeah, for sure you have to
Attaining Krishna is only bhakti. So the idea is that along with practicing bhakti, I become that person who wants to deliver everyone. That is a perfect combination. But just being nice, being in mode of goodness, does not lead us out of this material world. Again, we are back to square one, which is again into cycle of birth and death.
hmm
Because if you say whatever is happening with recession or whatever is happening, irrelevant of whether I'm good or I'm bad, it is going to affect me.
yes.
Because this material world, whether there is whatever calamities happen, where there is if there is a flood, if there is drought, any of that stuff, irrelevant of whatever good I may be, it will affect me.
Yes, Prabhu.
So one has to get out of cycle of birth and death and come to the platform where one can serve Krishna. And that is why we have to have a best combination, which is doing bhakti and being good to others.
Yes, Prabhu. I also heard that this beautiful thing from Prabhu Ram.
Mm,
um, like they were going, like, how what is Ram's father name, and then uske
mm,
father, and then the,
mm.
so it's like a 39 generation.
Yeah.
Basically that's, sorry, basically that is coming from Brahmaji,
Mm.
is it right?
Lord Ram doesn't come from Brahmaji. Lord Ram is Krishna himself.
No,
So Lord,
the Raghuvangsh, the
um,
because Krishna is a Jaduvangsh, right?
correct.
Raghuvangsh is the Ram, Bhagwan Shri
Mm,
Ram.
correct.
That's go back, if you go back and all the way. So
Mm,
Brahmaji is the great 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 great
yes.
grandfather of
Yes.
39. Yeah, is that true?
Mataji, so now this is very tricky because some aspect you may say, like sun god and all this. So there is sun and moon. These are the two important dynasty actually.
Okay.
You're with me so far, right, Mataji?
Mm-hmm.
So from them they come, and Surya Dev and Chandra Dev, they are under Brahmaji because Brahmaji is the one who creates everyone.
Yes.
Well, ultimately everything is created by
It's
Krishna. So
coming.
you
Okay.
may say, yeah, so you may say ultimately both Vamshas are coming from Brahmaji, but Brahmaji is not a source of any of that.
Yeah, it's just a
Correct.
just like
Great
yeah,
grandfather.
yeah.
He's our great grandfather as well. So there is zero doubt about it from that perspective. But when I say great grandfather, Krishna and Lord Ram doesn't are not born from Brahmaji
No,
because they
yeah.
never take birth.
Actually, Brahmaji brought Brahmaji itself born
Yes,
from
correct,
Bhagwan Vishnu.
correct. So Vishnu or Lord Ram, who's none other than Lord
Yeah.
Vishnu, cannot be. So good, you understood the point. But yes,
Yeah.
Madhuri,
Thank you,
I would
Prabhu.
I would say one thing as a brother, Mataji, the less you read or the less you hear about these people whom you're not sure what is their background, it will
Yeah.
create less confusion for you. You hear Prabhupada, that is the best thing, and then read Srimad Bhagavatam, read Bhagavad Gita, it will not create any confusions and you will be crystal clear on any of these aspects. Because the challenge is that it's very difficult for us to find out where is this guy I'm listening to, where is he coming from, what is his background. That's why I just like to be safe, because this is the life where I don't want to get distracted, and don't want to read something or hear something. So I just like to be careful on that side. So that's
Yes,
my
for sure, Prabhu.
but yeah, thank you so much for joining, Mataji. We will continue next week.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you so much, Mataji. Take care. Hare Krishna.